Hello and welcome back to Dukascopy TV. I'm Natalie MacDonald. Now, Switzerland is famous for its watch industry, and in the studio with me now to discuss this in a little bit more depth is Karine Szegedi of Deloitte. Karine, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, taking a look at some of the survey results, concerns over a strong Swiss franc were seen as the biggest risk to Switzerland's watch industry in 2012 survey. Now, while these concerns have abated in this year's report, what other risks did participants highlight?
As you highlighted, the risk assessment has significantly changed from 2012 to our 2013 survey. We have noted that the most significant risk identified in the current year was shortage of qualified labor, which was noted by about 46% of the participants. The strong Swiss franc was a big concern last year, with 70% of the participants mentioning it at the highest risks, and it's only 34% for this year. Other risks highlighted as well were the weaker foreign demand with the China slowdown, which we are currently noting, and some other risks noted in 2012, which were the price of, for example, gold, were not mentioned so much this year.
Now, smartwatches is something that we've been hearing about a lot in the media of late, and it's something that was also highlighted as an active player, as it were, in the future of the watch industry. But which other watch trends, as it were, did the Deloitte survey highlight?
So maybe just to comment on smartwatches, in our survey, only 30% of the participants have seen a threat in smartwatches, and only for watches less than 500 francs. On other products, we have more looked at the materials. So gold is still a material that is strongly growing, but the lead it has is weakening in the current year. And other materials such as steel, steel gold, or even titanium or carbon have shown very strong growth in the current year.
Now, you touched on China a little bit earlier, and the survey does in fact outline China's role as a driver for industry performance. Can you expand on the relationship between Chinese purchasing habits and the Swiss watch industry?
So China is a very important export market for most of the industries. For the watch industry, China and Hong Kong together account for 1/3 of the exports. So for Chinese tourism, Switzerland is still a place where Chinese like to buy a Swiss watch. So there is not a lot of statistics on Swiss watch market, but what we can say is that for Chinese tourists, we have a 25% rise in tourists in the last year. So we had 840,000 tourists in 2012, Chinese tourists in Switzerland, and the number could even be multiplied by 4 by 2020. Recently, we have seen the new Chinese tourists law, travel law, which might reduce the tourists in a short run. But we'll see the influence of this law, which comes in act in October. We'll see in a short time.
Looking ahead then to future performance, how do expectations for global growth tie into the survey's forecasting for the industry? And what techniques, similarly, do you foresee industry leaders using in order to stay ahead of the market?
So we have questioned our participants more on the regions where they have a significant positive outlook for the years to come. So China, of course, is reducing, the growth is reducing, so 40% see a stagnation and 6% even see a decline in the Chinese market to come. But there are other markets that are of very big interest, like North America. You have the Chinese market, the Asian market except China, where there is growth foreseen in the next month. Europe is more stagnating. The outlooks are more in the long run rather than the short term. And you asked the second question on what techniques do they foresee. Innovation. 9 participants out of 10 said innovation is for them their highest business priority in the year to come. In new products, but as well R&D to find new materials. Another very interesting area is the use of social media. Very important number of participants said social media is just very, very important to the business in the coming years. And finally, even the watchmakers and brands are thinking about online sales, which are slowly starting now to come.
Karine, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you. For
more interviews discussing hot financial topics, stay tuned to Dukascopy TV. Goodbye for now.